Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sound check. Okay, this looks good. That's on the green as well. I hope you guys can hear me just fine. And that the picture is looking great as well. Just thinking, should I just put the microphone level a little bit higher? I don't know why, but I feel like it changes automatically for whatever reason. Anyways, now that we're running, welcome everybody. I hope you are in a good mood. Off-scheduled live stream, had a little bit of time. Sorry I didn't have the possibility to live stream anything during the weekend, so here we go. It's Tuesday, and it's a bit stormy here in Portugal where I live. In fact, I've even received a text message not too long ago stating that careful, there might be winds up to 140 kilometers per hour, which is quite significant. So yeah, it's definitely fun. So I thought to myself, why not try and make a flight to Lisbon, let's say. So that's the plan. We're Ryanair 737 from Valencia. That's the eastern coast of Spain, and we're going to fly towards Lisbon. We're going to have about 1 hour and 40 minutes of cruise time. We'll have a little bit of time to talk about. I wanted to bring a little bit fuel planning today on the cruise segment of the flight. I know that it was supposed to be lift. How this lift is created, how lift is created, and how lift works. I don't think I will cover it completely today. However, what I might do is give a little bit of an introduction about lift, and then on another flight I will explore lift a little bit more deeply because yeah. Oh, there's another Ryanair. And yes, of course, we are on that sim so far. Right now there is no ATC. There was Madrid control, but they just left, so no ATC for now. I've submitted the flight plan, everything is ready. I've got the charts already. Weather, in fact, is looking quite interesting. So anyway, let's go to the plane. Maintenance has powered up the airplane very basically. This is a livery from I think Atarium livery, which is really cool because it actually simulates properly the Ryanair cabin. I'm not sure if this is how it is looking right now, because this is a quite old livery, but still, that's pretty good. It's pretty well done. So let's go here into the cockpit. It's a little bit dark, so I think I want to put some lights in here, just checking out making sure that everything is good here. The parking brake is set. We're chocked. All lights are off. That's all good. And I might start doing a couple of things. So starting here from the top, put this to nav for the alignment. Yacht Emperor will not work now. Yeah, it will not work now. It will work now that they will enter the alignment. Alright, check this. And check this. Fuel pumps are all off so far. That is good, that is good, that is good. Panel brightness is looking good. Fastest seatbelt sign not required. Check the tank hull, that's good. Window heat is gonna come on. That's good. Hydraulic pumps on. Trim air on. Voice recorder on. Recirc auto. I'm gonna put this actually like that, sorry. And APU, no, like this, APU off. We're expecting flight level 330 initially, yep, 330. And Valencia is sitting at an elevation of 240. So yeah, I'm trying to get this quickly, so we get going. And I'm going to talk through during the cruise phase of the flight. I don't think it will work now. Oh no, it will. Alright. There we go, that's working. Oxygen is looking good. That is all looking good. Service interphone, that is looking fine. Let's come down here. That's good, that's good, that's good. Let's put this to plan mode, range 40. Get some lights in, make the cockpit nice and cozy. And by the way, let me check out the chat. TFox737, hey, aloha and safe flights. Why Zibo though? TFox. The thing is, the level up, they don't really add anything new with the latest V2 update. So I didn't really bother trying it. Perhaps I should, and I probably will in the near future, but like the biggest changes that I wanted to see was the flight model, and they skipped that again over textures. Like, yes, textures are cool, but why not fix? I mean, texturing wasn't really that bad on the level up already, so why didn't they just put what was important? So I don't know. So that's just my way of thinking. So I went for the Zibo, because Zibo, trustworthy Zibo, and yeah, the systems is all Zibo anyway on the level up. Alright, transponder, altitude off. Gonna check this, that's good. Check this, check that. Oh. Perfect, check this. All looking good. All looking fine. So the door is now open. I'm gonna come here, do perhaps some cleaning. Recall is all looking good, and I wanted to do this. So to make sure that all the lightings are working. Yep, everything seems okay. Great, so we checked that. Great. Reset, let's go. FMC. Oh, did I see a data link there? Yeah, I did. What is that? Not working. Alright, I'll see later. So, Valencia, anyway, we're gonna get this from GPS left, put it here, route onwards to here. Lisbon, we are today Ryanair 1769. Real world call sign, just not the real time. LPSP Plane Spotting, boa noite, bem-vindo. Como é que estás? Ekaterina, hey! Hello, hello. TFox737, you should try Joshin's flight model. Seems like it's Jesus Christ, universally accepted as being quite well executed. Zibo is great though, we'll cheer for them. TFox737, that flight model you are talking about, is that something you have to install apart from the level up, or does that comes with the airplane already? Alright, Santa 8 Golf from Santa, November 733, over to Charlie Juliet November, and then to November 975, to Cáceres VR, and to Elvar, and then to Upulu. Execute. I can already put the arrival. We are expecting runway 20 for Lisbon. ILS 20 via Upulu. I would say 3 Bravo. Yeah. Via Upcat, I believe. Yep. And execute. Fantastic. Performance in it. Let's load the plane. So, we will be talking a little bit about fuel planning on the cruise section of the flight. Why did I do this fuel planning here? But essentially we need 8.697. So that's 8.7. So fuel, I'm gonna call the fuel truck. Payload, and payload expected, it says to me 16.4. I will confirm though. Zero fuel weight is 43. Our estimated zero fuel weight is 59.5. Minus 43.1, that'll give me 16.4, so that's correct. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's been loading in.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and
I'm
starting
going to start the flight leg, so we can start the boarding. Oh, are we really going to get the Ryanair music? I forgot about this. I don't remember last time I flew Ryanair. This is actually fun. I hope this doesn't result in a copyright strike or whatever. Anyways, flight level 330. Average winds on the cruise expected today 267 at 56. This is a terrible wind for us because essentially it's literally headwind for us. Not amazing. Top of climb minus 46 on the temperature. And our reserves. Final reserve plus alternate 2.5. So I'll set that in. Cost index for us is going to be 80, interestingly. So passengers are on board. The refueling is not complete, so I'm not going to put the seatbelt sign on. Anyway, let's go to N1 limit. We're going to go to rate 1. And let me please do a very quick performance calculation here. Now, we don't have it on the Zibo yet. It never worked properly, but at least I could do it here. So it was wet. Runway 12 optimum. Yeah, let's calculate this. So the rate 1, 32, and that seems good to me. Alright, so let's go for 32. I wonder, will the weights change? And let's do climb 2 initially, and then we'll change to climb above 10,000. If I input the weights, will it actually delete it? Perhaps I should wait for the refueling to be complete. I mean, I can hit the zero fuel weight, that should be correct. The gross weight is sensed. So let's execute that. Fuel's gonna come up anyway. So that sounds good. T-Fox 737, it is separate. Another streamer is making them. He works in an Air Force base and is currently working on something very exciting. Oh! Where can I find more about this? Josh and Hayden, you might have heard of him. Actually not. Can you please post a link to either his channel or something where I could check it out somewhere? On the discussion of the Discord, please. That would be great. Thank you very much. Francesco, I live in Valencia. Thanks for doing this video, Captain. Oh, wow, awesome. You're welcome. T-Fox 7%. I'll invite you to his Discord server. Yes, please. Do that. That would be great. All right, let's just check the route while this finishes very quickly. So make sure that our charts comply with this, so it's straight ahead until 2 miles, then a slight right turn to intercept, then until 9, right turn arc towards 323 course inbound Calles. That is all correct. Then to Senta, and then onwards. That's correct, that's all correct. Elvar, Upulo, Exana, then we have this beautiful thing here, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Very, very nice. The refueling is still going on. Let me see. Okay, it didn't change anything, but I'll wait for the takeoff speed, because that will definitely change. Alright, our planned fuel, at least what I wanted, was... our minimum takeoff fuel is 7.5, so I'll assume 7.6. I took quite a bit extra, so let's say planned fuel is 7.6 plus 2, 7.8. That'll be our planned fuel. I'll execute that. The fuel is still going on. Let's go map mode. prepare the MCP, get the flight directors on, get this higher up. So initial climb clearance 6,000. Let's go LNAV, wait for VNAV initially. And we need runway heading, so runway heading for us is 116. And also, if something goes wrong and we need to return to Valencia, I might have just already reselect this, because it might be useful for us. That is set, and frequency will be 111.5. Set. And that's set. Now on the minimums, I want to put this to our, I mean, I don't really need it, so I'll just do 1,000 plus, so that'll be 1,260. Oh man, I don't remember last time I flew the 737. Oh, it was with Compass, I believe. We flew in Denmark with the ATC. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Alright, refilling is still going on. Joshi, hey brother, does the Zibo 737 have full seam integration?
Fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Thank you very much. As far as I know, I don't know. That's the truth. So I have no idea if it does have or not. So, yeah, sorry. I basically never used seam brief integration. I don't kind of like to use it. So, yeah. Alright, so the weights are in and one limit is set. We're going to go flaps 5. CG 19.7, trim is 6. Can I pre-select it already? Yes, I can, and I will. That's set. V speeds 140, 41, and 48. That's a little bit different from what we had on the performance calc, but that seems good. We'll do 800, 800. And we'll do engine out acceleration height 1,000. That seems good. Probably do have some climb restrictions here. 5.5% until 5,000. So 5.5. If I multiply this by roughly 200, that'll be 1,100, if I'm not mistaken. So we should comply with that just fine. Let's put wet because it was raining just before I started the stream. 130, 140, 148. Oh, it actually changed. Good. So 148 is set, VNAV is on 116, 6,000 is set, RTO is set as well, and I will be starting the APU. And just so they stop the music, I'll put the beacon light on. Alright, let's do a safety inspection checklist. I mean, we should have skipped this, but let's do just... okay, it's before start next. First time I'm using this new layout of the 737 checklist, so pardon me if I do something wrong. Joshi, no problem. By the way, are you on a Mac? No, I am on a Windows, even though I have the Mac cursor, because I kind of like it, so there was a way to transfer it. So, yeah. By the way, welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. Alright, so parking brake is set. Let's go remove the chocks. I will be closing the doors, probably at this time. And we will be starting our departure briefing, because it's time for that. We started the APU, so that means we can start the departure briefing, get out of here. Yes, thank you, First Officer, that was great. Or maybe that was not the First Officer, that was perhaps the cabin crew. By the way, how is the sound, guys? Can you hear me fine? Yeah, okay, there goes the flight attendant. Thank you. She's gonna close the door. Alright guys, you ready? Let's go for this. I still think I feel like the sound is a little bit loud sometimes. Anyways, we're flying 737-800 Zibo, flight Ryanair 1769, service from Valencia to Lisbon. Let's check the NOTAMs very quickly for Valencia. Very quickly, no NOTAM, I love that. For Lisbon, there is probably not that much. November 1 is closed, some visual guiding system is not working. I usually check this weekly, so there's nothing really significant apart from some construction works, antennas, or obstacles, and that'll be about it. Anyways, the weather for our departure airport. Latest weather, let's check it out. Latest weather states wind 27015 gusting 25, so cool departure. Variable between 220 and 300. Visibility is good. Fuel at 4,000, broken 5,500. Temperature 14.4. So we will probably definitely require some anti-icing as we're going to get closer to the clouds. QNH is still 908, so all looking good. I'll be using terrain radar on my side because there are some mountains around here, some pretty high terrain, and we are parked stand 11. We will be starting the engines on the stand. We'll taxi via Whiskey 2 towards the left, Bravo November 2, or we could just keep to Whiskey 3, Whiskey 4, and turn on Delta, and then Hotel 6 into runway 12. That will be, oh sorry, no. Sorry, not Hotel 6, I was looking at the wrong chart. Sorry, so we continue on November 2. Yeah, we're going to have to go to November, all the way November, Hotel 8 for full-length runway 12. The runway can be damp because it was raining not that long ago. We checked the wind already. And we'll be doing a derated 1 takeoff with flex 32. Right. The flags jumped out. Alright, let's redo it. That was weird. No idea why it jumped out. 33, 41, 48. Okay, sounds good to me. So we'll do the flex 32. And flex 32, takeoff 1 right. With flaps 5V speeds of 133, 141 and 148. We'll be departing via the Center 8 Golf departure, page 10-3, effective from the 30th of November of 2023. Airport elevation sitting at 240, already set. Our transition altitude is 6,000. We do have some close-in obstacles. We can check that chart. We're not going to do that. SIDs are also noise abatement procedures. I've checked actually that part, and we'll do NADP2, so at 800 we do a thrust reduction and acceleration until 3,000, so that'll be 3,240, where we will be accelerating to our normal speed. So initially I'll bug up to the minimum clean speed on the climb. Requires a minimum climb gradient. We already checked that out. 5.5% till till 5,000 for us. So we definitely comply with that. As you can see here, we can check that even at 200 knots, 1,114, we can be just fine. Initial climb clearance, 6,000. Wait for further clearance, just as we planned. And Center 1 Golf, climb and runway heading to 2 DME Valencia, turn right, intercept Valencia radial 123 to DME 9. So right here, and then turn right along 11 arc, DME of Valencia, intercept. This is Calles, yes, Calles, radial 143 inbound to Calles radial 299 to Center. So we could actually fly this departure in a completely conventional airplane. This does not require any GPS at all. Possible coverage failure below flight level 070 beyond 22 TME Calles, radar assistance will be provided, so due to the terrain. Speaking of terrain, we do have a lot of terrain, and our MSA towards the west is 6,000 and 6,800 towards the north and northwest of the airport. We do have a peak of 6,626, not that far from Center, and the Great Mora in Center is 8,600. We also have to cross Calles above flight level 080, so we definitely will be continuing the climb from 6,000, and we have to cross Center above flight level 100, which I think we should be complying. No special considerations apart from the fact that we need to remember that there is there is quite some high terrain, pretty gusty winds, but so far the weather is not terrible. It could get worse because the forecast says it can be gusting to 43 knots, which is absolutely lovely. but we don't have a takeoff alternate. I don't think we should be overweight. Let me check this out. Max landing weight is 66.4, takeoff is 68.1. So we're actually a little bit overweight, about 1.7 tons. Correction. Yeah, Jesus Christ, my math is going on. Come on. Yeah, 1.7. I think that's it. 1.7 tons overweight, so not very significant, but still. I guess we have a failure on the takeoff roll until 80 knots. We stop between 80 knots and V1 only if the failure is significant, like engine fire, engine failure, or wind shear alert, pilot incapacitation, or anything else that will affect the safety of the flight. I'll call reject, put the thrust to idle, apply the maximum reverse. Let the auto brake work, stop on the runway, set up the parking brake. Call cabin crew attention, and then advise DTC in excess situation. In case it will fail after V1, we're going to continue straight ahead towards the open water. I'll be climbing to at least 4,000 feet initially, and request vectors to hold somewhere. We can establish a hold there somewhere, and then proceed to return depending on the failure. But I think we should be fine. We should be fine. I mean, the Valencia is not too bad here. The runway is pretty long, 3,200 meters, so we should be okay. Other than that, no considerations. That seems good. That's the departure briefing complete. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And Joshi, haha, because of the cursor, I thought you were using a Mac. Yeah, I like the black cursor. I don't know. Oh, look at that, AirAsia. Alright, so let's go. Turn on.
Have a good flight.
Fantastic. So they finished the preparation there. We're gonna put some APU gens on, and because we've been running here for a while, I'm gonna put some bleeds on, and I want to switch off these lights here to make the cabin a little bit more cozy. Let me check if there's no ATC. Yep, there's no ATC for now. I have to clear out the ground services as well. Very good, and let's start the before start checklist then. Alright, IRS mode selectors are on nav. Gear pins were removed. There's no real way to check them. Probe cover removed. Light test was checked. Oxygen is tested. And 100%. I can't set it. Fine. Yacht damper is on. And nav transfer display switches are on normal and auto. Wait, they are here. Normal and auto. Alright, fuel we've got on board. You can check here on the performance page. We've got on board 8.7, so that's above the required for about a ton. And it is nice and balanced. Emergency exit lights are armed. Fasten seatbelt signs are on. Window heat is on. Air conditioning pressurization, we've got packs on. Correction. Packs are auto. Bleeds are on. And pressurization mode selector is on auto. Auto brake RTO. Hydraulics are normal. We've got everything powered up. Speed brake is down detent. Step trim cutout switches are in the normal. That's good. Wheel well fire warning was checked. Radar and transponder is set and standby. Actually, the transponder is set to altitude off, so that some guys can see us. Rudder and aileron trim, we've got 0 and 3, so that's good. A takeoff briefing is discussed. PA is complete. FMC CDU is set. N1 IES bugs, we've got auto and set. Step trim, we've got 6 units set. Performance weight and balance sign is set, that's fine. Films off, UFB stowed, flight deck doors and cockpit doors. So doors are closed and locked. Passengers are seated. We've got the cabin crew just told us that they are all ready, so that's wonderful. And that's to the line and below the line air conditioning packs. We're gonna go with them off. Anti-collision light is on. I made that on purpose. Parking brake is set and transponder out off. So before start checklist is fully complete. That was a lengthy one. We can now start the checklist and get going. Let me check again if there is no controller here. Yeah, there is no controller. So off we go. I'm gonna go. Bleeds are off. Ground 2. Start the time on the first officer side. center fuel pumps on already as well. We've got N2. And there's 24. Got ignition. Oil pressure is good. Sim Crash Fire, I'm just popping in to say hi, but I'm off again already. Bye bye. Wish you a safe landing. Oh man, hey, are you sick again? Ah, that's unfortunate. Starter cut off, engine stabilized. Thanks for coming by and saying hi. I hope you get better. Let's start number 2. We've got the valve open, and we've got rotation. There's 23, 24, introduce the fuel. Got ignition. Oil pressure is rising. Sadly not again, but still. Oh boy, man, that is taking a toll on you. It's been a long time already. And there's the starter cut off. Fantastic. Alright, very good. So we can now engage the gens. Am I still on the ground power? Really? Oh yeah, I forgot to disconnect it. Fine. It's fine. Alright, APU off. Starter switches to... Now the question is, do I set them now to continuous or not? Before takeoff config... Yeah, it should be now probably. Alright, so continuous it is. This, and this. Probes on. Oh, very nice. Let's do a quick flight control check. And fantastic. I started the engine within 1 minute. In fact, exactly as I was planning. I was planning to start at 1915. So that was great. Flaps 5. And recall checked. Right, before next checklist, generators on, APU off, start switches continuous, probe heat is on, anti-ice off, air conditioning, packs auto, bleeds are on, isolation valve auto, flaps 5 set, green lights, stabilizer trim 6 units set, start levers idle to 10, flight controls check, recall check. Before before next checklist is complete, let's put some lights in. And let's get going. Brakes are released. Am I on 122.8? No, I'm not, but I really should. Alright, 1228, clear on the left, clear on the right. Takeoff config check, all looking good. Made my ground chart, 10.9 and 10.9. Good. Let's get going. I can't remember the last time I flew Ryanair on a live stream. Oh, never mind, I do. It was when X-Plane released something new for like engines or whatever. There was something new. Okay, we can't go there. Whiskey 3. So we continue. Martin, hey! Welcome to live stream. How are you? Great to see you here. We are doing some European ops. Here with our good old Ryanair flight. Go that way. So I'm going to turn left on Charlie into November 2 and then all the way down towards the right. It's all clear on the left. And there goes the long straight. Doing well, doing well. Reading over some instrumentation. How are you? How's the flying? Oh wow, awesome. I'm doing good. There's been a lot of stuff. Basically going flying every week. Quite a lot of work as well. But man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I might be a little bit tired, but man, I'm so excited and so happy. I'm very close to finishing. I have about, I don't know, I stopped counting them, but I believe I have six flights to finish or something like that. So I'm really close to finishing, to getting my CPL and multi-engine instrument rating, which is really cool. And from that point, I will be going for an MCC. So yeah, and then I'll be launching myself somewhere. So exciting times ahead, man. Very exciting times. And yeah, I apologize for you guys for not being able to have all the time in the world, because right now I've been prioritizing some real world stuff, and I believe it will pay off. It will pay off for me, and it will definitely pay off for you as well, guys. So yeah, I was thinking for a minute, like, we don't have a taxi checklist. This feels weird. So yeah, I'll try to keep you posted as I go when I'll have some news. But yeah, so far it's been like that. Alright, let's give a call to the cabin. So we are ready for departure. Oh, we don't have it, never mind. Well, it does it automatically once you put the wing light on. So glad to hear that you're nearly over the line. Where do you plan to do the MCC? I'm trying to find a place to do it within the next 2 to 3 months. That's the thing. I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So it will depend. But I don't know. I have a couple of options. I want to talk about them right now. But yeah, it will depend. It will depend quite significantly on the timing and some other stuff that I don't want to disclose right now, but yeah. Alright, we are approaching here the spot. Let's do a before takeoff checklist. I can barely see it, but right, config is checked. We checked it as we started taxiing. Flaps 5, green light. Let's stop it here, put the lights off. Stabilizer trim 6 units set. Takeoff briefing. So remember, it's going to be center 8 Golf 6000 DME arc, and off we go. Careful with the terrain. Cabin is secured. MCP is all set. Transponder, let's put it already. TARA. Strobe lights and landing lights. Alright, before takeoff checklist is complete. Let's put some lights on. Strobes on. That seems all clear from that side. Seems all clear from that side. Let's give them a call. Valencia traffic, Ryanair 1769 is departing runway 12 on the Center 8 Golf departure. Valencia traffic. We're all ready to go. Alright, let's do proper stop takeoff here. Let's build them up to 40%. That's stabilized. And 1 toga, timer on. And off we go. First is set. Airspeed is alive. That's really weird. Did I make the proper calculations? Alright, anyways, LNAV, let's fly the
400.
plane. Oh boy. VNAV speed. It's looking really weird the way we're accelerating there. And
1,000.
There's the power reduction. Oh my god. This is interesting. Let me go command A. There we go. That's because I touched the yoke. Let's go flaps 1. Did I mess up? Oh, I did mess up. That was totally my mistake. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. How did I mess up this way? Anyways, let's fly the plane. And let's go flaps up. Gear off, lights off. Switches back to normal. And off we go to 3,240. How could I mess up this way? This is interesting. This is what work does you after a full day of stuff. And let's keep climbing to our cruising altitude. And we are above that. Back to VNAV. .330 is set. Do we have an after takeoff? Yes, we do. Air conditioning pressurization is set. Start switches are normal. Landing gear up and off. Auto brake off. Flaps up, no lights. Altimeters right now seem fine. Start takeoff checklist is complete. How could I look at the weather 5 times and pick up the wrong runway? Very interesting. Yeah, I should have gone with the other Santa, which was the 8 Alpha. Very interesting. Sorry for this, guys. So runway 12 is completely out of the equation. Let's put the weather radar on the first officer's side. The range of 40, so we can see where are we going. Oh, I did everything so well. Why? It is funny. Every time I do something well, there is something massive that I completely screw up, and it happened again. Alright, altimeter standard set. Anyways, the flight continues. I didn't want to reject because we're already past 80 knots. And, yeah, I think we would be better off by continuing rather than rejecting. But I thought about it. It's a question for my instructors. Anyways, Martin, I'm trying to keep the MCC as wallet-friendly as I can because at this rate I'll be busking on the street after I finish my CPL conversion. I totally understand you. Absolutely understand you. Cooler, hey, good to see you here. We got some takeoff okay. Takeoff okay is in chat. Okay, we've got some, perhaps, some weather. Oh, what the hell was that? And 10,000 feet. It's the lights off. Logo and wing lights off. $50 knots of headwind. Impressive. Very impressive. Almost more impressive than the wind. Walney, great to see you here. Dude, I was a hair from flying the 134. But I think I picked up, now that I look at it, I think I picked up the right decision to not fly it. Because I just completely misunderstood the runway. But that's alright. Some interesting clouds. And the moon is being nice and friendly as well. Helping us out. Alright, also we passed 10,000 by the way. That means I can come to N1 limit and put this to climb 1. Because this way we can get up there a little bit quickly. Sorry, I'll put this to climb. And off we go. Another thing I didn't check, which could be quite interesting, is this. Let me show you. Significant weather chart. In fact, I think it might be probably more interesting to check it here, but not that interesting. So red is turbulence, clear air turbulence. That means we can get turbulence anywhere, and there is the yep, definitely gonna put some anti-ice. Also, we burned all the fuel on the center tank, so let's put the fuel pumps off on the center tanks. So I can do a trick to get out of here quicker. Let me put this to 280 at least. The airplane will start to climb faster, so we'll trade the speed for altitude. And we'll get out of this quicker. There we go. That's much better. That's much better. I'll still let it decrease the speed towards 280. Alright, so I was showing you guys this. We've got the jet stream at flight level 310320, not too far from here. We've got icing as well from below 10,000 to flight level 200, so almost where we are passing right now. And also got this moderate turbulence from flight level 160 to flight level 400, so very interesting times, very interesting night to be flying here. Looking great though. I hope YouTube is actually showing up the clouds pretty fine. It is looking pretty cool outside. It is actually looking pretty nice. A bit turbulent. I don't know if I will be releasing the passengers on this flight. We'll see how it goes once we get past these clouds. Johnny, do you like, first things first, welcome to the live stream, and do you like the 747 FPS? If you are speaking about the 747 from flight procedure simulations, I don't have it, so I cannot really talk about it. Crash Flyer does own that airplane, and you can ask him. He's on the Discord of the channel, but from what I understand so far, it's a rework from the old SSG 747-8, which I really liked actually. The only problem with it was it was very heavy on FPS, like very heavy on FPS, and yeah, so that was really great. But for the price of the update, I was convinced by other subscribers to get the 747-200 instead. And let me tell you that the 747-200 is in fact better than the 747-8. However, I really like and I really miss that airplane. So, yeah. I hope that does help you out a bit. What I don't like though is the Sparky 747-400. That airplane never really fully worked, which is a big shame, to be honest, because it has a huge potential to be an incredibly, absolutely fantastic airplane. Alright, pressurization is working, everything seems fine, we're flying just fine. We'll put some airports here. Yeah, it's bumpy. It is bumpy. Johnny, yes, I agree with you. Thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for tuning in. You will enjoy the flight. No HUD for the 747. Let me check out the progression of the weather in Lisbon, and let me actually check this to make sure that now we won't be going towards the wrong runway. So right now I've got 240 and 8 knots. Visibility more than 10, fuel at 1000, temperature is 90.7, oh, not too far from fog, and QNH 1006. What's the forecast? Let's check this out. So today's the 27th, right? Yeah, right. So far it seems like... Sorry, the airplane pitched down. I got kind of scared. The average is going to be 260, 13 knots, good visibility, scattered 2000. We will have a tempo from today, 18 until midnight, 160, 18 gusting, 30, visibility 8, shower and rain. This is interesting. Actually, I think I believe I could get this here. It's not in a very nice way, not very nicely presented. That's METAR. Okay, there we go. I can zoom in on this so you guys can see this better. So I was saying 8,000 showers and rain, tempo, right? Scattered 1,200, cumulonimbus at 2,000, broken 3,000. This is becoming, so when it says becoming, that means that the weather will be changing from this time to this time. This is the 28th, from midnight until 2 a.m. Nice. So it's becoming 23, gusting 3.5. Visibility 3, rain and drizzle, mist, scattered 600, broken 1,200. Oh wow. Oh wow. Tempo from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. gusting to 48, 1,200. Heavy rain. Broken 400, few 1,800, towering cumulus. Probability of 30% temporary from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. gusting to 55. I'm just laughing because this is funny. And then it's again becoming, so I guess I should have made the live stream tomorrow, but I am completely unable to make a live stream tomorrow. And fun thing, I'm traveling to Lisbon tomorrow. This is going to be extremely fun. I don't even want to think about it. Anyway, it's becoming 3-3, gusting 48, good visibility, no significant weather. Okay, scattered 3,000, so it's essentially just wind at this point. And then in the morning it becoming 15 knots, it calms down a bit, and then at the evening again from 5 to 20 it will be becoming again quite interesting. So the weather still might change quite a bit until we get into Lisbon. However, from what I've seen so far regarding the weather radar, these two cells were right here when I was preparing the live stream. So we still might be catching up some stuff. Porto has just some cells. I thought about going to Porto, but it was so
1,000 to go.
bad. Let's check. Yeah, let's get vertical speed. Put this down to 900. Make a smoother level off. Very interesting. Let's check the satellite image. Infrared. Oh wait, it didn't load yet. Or did it? Come on, Wendy. There we go, thank you very much. So yeah, probably we will not get exactly a CB coming up our way. But by the way, there's the jet stream. Oops. There's the jet stream right here. We're leveling off. But this is quite interesting. Quite interesting weather situation. Alright, we've leveled off. I can put back to VNav once it levels up completely. Press change to cruise. Altitude hold. Back to VNav, FMC speed, VNav path. Seeing the heading, all looking good. We're 16 minutes into the flight over the clouds. All looking good so far. Cooler. The 200 is better, but it's also practically a different airplane. I absolutely agree with that, and that's why I hold off myself for so long until actually purchasing the
in case we do experience any unexpected turbulence.
The
Otherwise, invite you
747-200.
to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put this outside off. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we have a little bit of time here in the cruise. Let's use that time to talk a little bit about the fuel planning. I think I brought this up a little bit, but I want to do it again, just for my own practice as well, and it's always good to remind ourselves a little bit about that. So how is the fuel for airplanes calculated? We actually can check that with the SimRave, and there is usually always the same formula. It has some variations, of course, depending on where you are, because I believe I studied EASA, so I've studied the European law for fuel planning, so I have the European requirements for fuel. However, they might be different in FAA or other countries. So this is like the average, or consider this the average, don't consider this as mandatory for all the flights, but this is what I'll use, and this is what's applicable for me. So for commercial flights and for recreational as well. So let me open up here my OFB first. Let's check out the plan and fuel, and let me put this in like this. You should be able to see now. So essentially, how is fuel calculated? It's pretty simple. So you start from the very start until the very end, and usually this is how it goes. So once we are on the gate, refueled, we have the maximum amount of fuel that we are carrying. This is called the ramp fuel or the block fuel, depending on how you want to call it, to be fair. I think theoretically it should be correct to call it ramp fuel, because this is when you are this is the maximum amount of fuel that you have on the ramp. But I'll call it block anyways, because this is what most people are used, and I think this is what's used on the line. So the block fuel has in it, starting from the very first thing, fuel for the taxi. And now that it's winter time still, we've got a lot of snow here in Europe. I believe the United States, from what I've been seeing lately, has some snowstorms as well, and they've got a lot of flights cancelled. So you might need to require some de-icing to be performed, and of course that will extend your taxi time quite significantly. So taxi fuel will get all of that. So not only from the gate towards the runway, it will also get all the estimated delays, de-icing procedure, etc., etc. So that's the first thing. Alright, then we've got the trip fuel. So the trip fuel is the fuel that you require to have to make the flight from the destination from the your departure to the destination airport, and you usually calculate it by calculating the fuel for the departure. Well, you can put it for the SID, takeoff, SID, climb out, the cruise part, descent, and landing. So this is what the trip fuel comprises, and we might even do a specific flight on the general aviation airplane on purpose, because on a general aviation airplane we can actually go into the flight manual. It's quite simple. Not that we can't do it with these bigger ones, but it's a little bit more complex, and we can calculate the trip fuel like I do, for instance, for my flights. So we have this trip fuel. Alright, from the trip, additionally to the trip fuel, you have your alternate fuel. Or before that, let me wait. For the alternate, we have the contingency. Alright, contingency fuel. It depends on where you are operating, so that's country dependent, it's operation dependent, and it can be either 5%, it can be 3% if you have, I believe it can be 3% if you have enough en route alternates. So for instance today, I don't know why it put 5%, but today we could get 3% because we have like Madrid, we have our airports and at our flight path where we can actually use this. So contingency can be percentage from your trip fuel. So let's say this would be like, I don't know, let's say we use 1,000 kilos for our trip. So our contingency will be 5% of this, or 2%. It's either 50 kilos or 30 kilos. It can be times, it can be like 15 minutes, or if your company has like very precise monitoring tools, you can actually display that to the authority and say like, hey, we made our research, we have monitoring tools, and we know that for this specific route we don't require this huge amount of contingency. You might think that this is not actually like, why would you be thinking so much about something that's just like 5% or 3% for such a small value of fuel? And this is where I tell you, this is why there are so many differences in this contingency. This is usually important for long-haul flights. And also remember, extra fuel that you bring with you but you do not require exactly, and if you know, like contingency fuel is used for any route deviations unplanned that you've got there. Let's say we've got a huge cell on our route and we have to deviate a little bit towards the right or towards the left so we don't fly into it. That's where contingency fuel goes in. So on those huge long flights, let's say we've got, I don't know, we've got 100 tons of fuel. I'm just sending a number out there, or 70 tons of fuel. That's a lot of fuel, and 5% of that fuel actually does add to the cost. And also remember, if you add more fuel, you will also spend more fuel because you are essentially adding weight to the airplane. This is one very important thing. So let's say, and I did this on purpose, I added an extra of 1 ton for this flight, and we'll see why in a bit. It is to demonstrate something. I'm also heading heads-on with an airplane at the same flight level that I am going, but I believe that I should be on the correct flight level. Should be 330, that's why. Anyway, we'll see. So that's contingency, alright? So it's either a percentage, a time, or something else if your company does have some software that is monitoring these kinds of situations. For us, for instance, today is 5% and 242 So for EASA numbers, usually we have plenty of in-route alternates. I'll assume 3%, and we can burn less fuel. So apart from the contingency, we continue. We go for alternate. Oh Jesus Christ! Alternate. Alternate fuel is the fuel that will be calculated based on the go-around at destination. So at your planned destination where you are flying, climb to cruise, en route, approach and landing, at destination, alternate. So I'll put it alternate. So this is what alternate fuel is about. So when you are calculating alternate fuel, this is what it comprises on. Alright? And then, this is what I don't remember exactly, you have like weather fuel, extra fuel, additional fuel. It all has different names. I believe the additional fuel, it's something like ETOPS fuel. What I remember, I actually have to revise this. But this is essentially fuel that you have to carry for, let's say you are doing a flight over the water and you don't have a very close alternate airport. And in that case, or in the case of, let's say, a loss of pressurization, you will have to descend to 10,000 feet, right? And descending to 10,000 feet will significantly increase your fuel burn. So additional fuel is is fuel for those kind of situations. So it accounts for the fuel to go to that airport, to have a little bit of holding time, etc., etc. So that's where the additional fuel comes in. Then finally, you hear your final reserve. And final reserve is for jet airplanes, 30 minutes of holding at 1,500 feet over the destination. Usually this is called the untouchable fuel, so you don't want to really spend it, because when you are using your final reserve, you're having a very bad day and you have to declare fuel emergency at that time. So really this is something you don't want to do it. Okay? And this is kind of how you do it. There's a mnemonic that we used to use, and that was TT Cafe. So it'll be taxi, trip, contingency, alternate, final, extra. Alright? Apart from all of this, or perhaps this is not additional but extra, I don't remember. There was some changing in the names of that, so my mind didn't really get it properly. Apart from this, of course, there is the captain discretion fuel, where you can say, like today, we have some bad weather in Lisbon, so we can expect some crazy winds, like not too far ago when I was starting to plan this live stream. Wind shear was recorded for runway 20 at Lisbon. It is not anymore, I believe. Yep, not anymore, at least not now. But we could completely have a wind shear, and while it's not something incredibly crazy, but that would probably require us to do a go-around and do a second attempt. And this is kind of where planning goes in, and you have to think, okay, is the weather that bad that we will simply not be able to land there and we will have to proceed to our alternate? Or we can bring a little bit of extra fuel, so if things don't go exactly to plan, we have time to think and to look into other options. So that's where extra goes in. The important part to remember about extra, just as the same as I told you just before regarding the the fuel is that if you go here, so for instance today I've added an extra of 1,000 kilos. So 1,000 kilos states to me that it gives me 21 minutes. I'm not sure if it actually makes a proper calculation or not. Probably yes, but let's say out of the box you made your fuel planning right here. Zibo went all in, and the fuel was 8,697. That would be your block fuel or your ramp fuel. And when you were loading the plane, you were like, ah man, the weather's getting worse. I think I want to add a little bit of extra fuel here. So you decide to add another ton or another 500 or something like that. So you decide to do 9,700 instead. So you've added essentially plus 1,000. Remember that you have this very, very, very interesting section that's called operational impacts. And if you have a weight change, that will increase your trip consumption. Of course, on short flights like we were doing today, it's not incredible, but you need to remember that by bringing 1 ton, out of that 1 ton, you'll be burning 23. On longer flights, this value will be significantly increased. On more thirsty airplanes, that will be also increased. So that's something you have to consider always and remember as well. Additionally, of course, there will be like ETOPS, fuel calculations. There will be fuel calculations for isolated aerodromes. So it is such an aerodrome that when you are flying there, when you arrive there, you have no fuel to go anywhere else. So you also have fuel requirements for that. But I have a flight plan for that. We will be talking about it because I think that's a little bit of a different situation that requires a little bit of a different thinking. And I think it would be actually interesting to analyze that fuel situation exactly on that specific flight. However, I hope that for those who watched this serves as a good basis. This is what I use for my real-world flights as well. The only difference is because I don't fly jets, instead of 30 minutes of hold time, I'm required to bring 45 minutes of holding time. And that's what I'll do. So let's say if we would be doing this flight, but on, I don't know, let's say Piper Seneca, DC-3, Piper Chieftain, whatever, we would require, instead of 30 minutes of final reserve fuel, we would have to add 45 instead of 30. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this little fuel introduction, should I call it this way. Alright, let me see, how are we going on? We've got 151 miles till top of descent. So far we're going pretty good, airplane is behaving nicely. No recall, all looking good. That's fine. Martin. Oh, sorry, wait. I missed a comment for you. That'd be great actually, doing the fuel stuff in a general aviation aircraft. Does X-Plane 12 have a Payware Beach Baron or Cessna 340A414? You don't have... I mean, you have a Payware Baron if you consider the reality expansion pack, which I do have, by the way, and it's really cool actually. So if you want to have like a proper and well-performing Baron, or a twin piston airplane into X-Plane but without breaking the bank, the best option is actually going towards the Simcoder's reality expansion pack for the default Baron 58. If you want to have a nice piston that's Payware, that's not a Beechcraft, and that simulates a little bit the maintenance stuff, although the Rep does as well, but it simulates like oil stuff, has quite nice handling features, great cockpit, nice sounds, you can go to the Captain's Iceman Piper Seneca 2. Great airplane, very nice. LPSP plane spotting, welcome back. Yes, we did take off. We are right now on the cruise. So all looking good. And Martin, are we flying a non-hemispherical flight level today? I noticed we are 330. We're not supposed to be at even flight levels, like between 108, 359 isn't it even levels. Yes, however, that depends on the country. And I wanted to think that Spain actually was as Portugal, because Portugal, it's not divided between east and west, it's divided between north and south. And for whatever reason in my mind I had that Spain it was exactly the same. So let me see. We can actually go into the AIP. This is literally the official aeronautical information publication for Spain, and we can check this out. Well, let's see, general rules and procedures, instrument flight rules, altimeter setting procedures, perhaps this one? No, I don't think it's this one. Okay, levels of cruise, here we go. Aha, see? There you go. So this is written in Spanish. No, half Spanish, half English. So from 090 to 269er, we fly odd. We're flying 255, I'm correct. So I am correct. There we go. Check the official source. And it is correct. So we can go 330. This is very important actually. You brought a very, very nice point. And this is what people usually don't remember. But it is country dependent. A lot of stuff in Europe and all over the world is country dependent. And you really have to pay attention to this. So, yeah, there you go. Nice. Great question, by the way. And Martin notes it on the Baron expansion pack. I've looked at it but haven't purchased yet. We'll take a look at the Captain's Iceman. Yeah, the Captain's Iceman is a little bit more expensive, but worth the price if you want a Piper. It's a really neat airplane. Right, we are 122 miles from top of descent. I think I will be starting the approach preparation. And I think I'll leave the conversation about lift for the next live stream. Because I think it will be interesting to bring an airplane with angle of attack indicator. And I know you guys will tell me like, Vlad, look, this is your angle of attack indicator, and I will absolutely agree with you. However, I would probably prefer to have a big fat angle of attack indicator, perhaps something like a Tupolev 134. So perhaps that would be a great stream to talk about lift, angle of attacks, and all that basic concept of stuff. So yeah, Mark, if you want to save money, go for the reality expansion pack. If you want to invest into a proper airplane, I mean, both are very nice. Both are very nice. So yeah. And Martin, it's weird. I just did a quick flight radar 24 check, and flights in Spain flying west are at odd levels. Flying west, well, it depends on the track. Let me check it out as well then. Why not? Well, I didn't invent that. It's literally on the thing, right? Yeah. But let's check it out anyways. So this one would be flying at an even. This one should be even. Yeah, 31. There we go. Is it still climbing? I don't know. This is at 30. 38. So what I think is, I doubt there is only these kinds of rules. There's air traffic control, air traffic flow management. Oh, there's a drone there. There's a lot of stuff in between. So this one is going to 38. Well, which is correct, by the way. 38. So never mind. That was all correct. Let me check here, for instance. This should be descending. 38, correct? 39. I don't know. Seems right. 33. 38. So I believe there might be, of course, situations where there is no traffic. We're like, hey, ATC, can we get, I don't know, 1,000 feet higher for fuel consumption? And perhaps you're flying to France, and France might be on a different rule, and they say, okay, you can do it. So, yeah, that'll be my call. John, I always have trouble doing ILS landings. Never locks on for me. Any tips? So, first things first, what is the airplane you're flying? 2, are you doing it manually when you say it's not locking for you? Are you doing it manually, or are you doing it on autopilot and the autopilot is not catching it up? Because that's very different. So yeah. So if you can answer those questions, perhaps I can give you some tips. And Mark, well, so they do north and south. Yep, they do. Unnecessarily complicated for no reason. I don't think it's complicated, to be fair. I think it's a perspective of just, well, it's like that. And the countries that are essentially stretched, probably Italy is going to be the same. If you think about it, Italy, Portugal, Spain somewhat, they're all stretched from north to south. So the flow is mostly coming from north to south. So it actually makes sense to organize the flow this way. Practice intercepts with the CDI HSI. Well, I wouldn't say just that linear, but yeah, let's see what John first replies. Anyways, I think I should start actually preparing the approach. The ILS 20, right? I'm gonna check the winds again. Yeah, 240 at 7. Alright, 205 on the course. 205, 205. Let me also check if it's going to be 205 here. Yeah, it is. 1095. 1095. So that's set minimus for us. So we're going to be straight in landing 547 on the barrel. So 547 set here, and I'm going to set it here as well. Alright, 547 is set. Predicted Q&A should be 1005. I'm going to pre-select it here already. This is a cool feature. Properly cool feature. 1005 is set. Minimums are set. All is set. Landing altitude 350 roughly. So that's set. All seems good. How much do we have until our top descent? 84 miles. And I'll be using auto brake 2. Let's check flaps 30 for sure. 148. Oh, that'll be fast. Oh man, I forgot. I forgot that the 737 is actually properly fast on the approach, like faster than the 777. All right. Anyway, let's do the arrival briefing so we get the plans all ahead. You guys are ready? Let's go. All is looking good. For the status of the airplane, flight is progressing fine. Fuel seems is looking good as well. Speaking of fuel situation, diversion fuel is 2.5, so we still have plenty. We have more than 5 tons on board, so that's all looking good. Weather in Lisbon at this time, it states 240 at 7, good visibility, few clouds at 1000, temperature is 10. Did it just increase a degree, or maybe not? No, maybe not. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But that's interesting. It could. Maybe it could. No temps are fine. Anti-ice, unless we get into some significant moisture, I don't think we will need it. And we'll use weather radar on my side and terrain radar on the first officer side, because there is not a lot of terrain around Lisbon. There is some, but it's not incredibly significant, and the airport is kind of located on the top area as well, so it shouldn't be really a factor. Top of descent calculated was stated to be at 73 miles. We will recheck that in a second, and we will be arriving via the Upulu 3 Bravo arrival. This is page 10-2 Charlie, effective from the 27th of November of 2025. So this is a very new procedure, quite lengthy, and into Lisbon. So before I read all of that, this is the lost comms procedure. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to just check that the transition level is by ATC, because I know that's 4,000 in Lisbon. We will assume that it will be flight level 060. Speaking of that, I believe I should be able to... No, never mind. I think I'm... Transition altitude, yeah, we'll leave it 6,000 there, that seems fine too. Alright, fine. Sorry. So, RNAV1 required, we comply with that. First contact, Lisbon Terminal Control report, only call sign cleared, flight level and star. That sounds good. Point merge procedure in operation, expect as soon as possible direct instructions to the merge point UCAT. So this is what I wanted to talk about. On planning star, vertical profile and explicit ATC clearance is always required. Expect radar vectoring instructions. ATC must be informed of any deviation, and distance from starting point, star, and merge point. Deviation of this track may be regarded as delaying action. Okay, so we comply with that. Speed restrictions. Via Mach number till transition to 280 knots. Maintain 280 knots until slowed by the star or assigned by ATC. Max 280 between 245 and flight level 100. Max 250 at or below 10. Or below flight level 100. Max 220 at and below flight level 70. And max 200 at and below 4000. So this is a lot of the stuff. We'll try to remember that. So we're going to come from Upulu at 280 knots below flight level 250. Exona max 250, then to Papa Tango 811 max 230. Itvit max 230. At Deki mandatory flight level 70 at 220. Now, I am not expecting any traffic, and because I'm not expecting any traffic, what I'll probably do is from Deki I'll proceed direct to UCAT to 4,000, decelerating to 180 knots, because essentially all of this here is done for traffic separation purposes. So this is what I'm planning for. We don't really need to account for any significant changes, because we're already locked to flight level 70 Deki, so from 70 to 4 it's not that bad between those 2 points. So this is what I expect. Other than that, we're going to go for the ILS 1020, page 11-3, effective from the 27th November 2025 again. Very new procedure. Final approach course 205, frequency 1095, UCAT 4000 mandatory, and minimum 547 is set. Airport elevation is already set. MSA 4000 on the north, 3000 on the south, so from the to the side we're going, 3000 will be fine. We do have some terrain here, but it's nothing incredibly significant. Alright, so intercept at 4000, it's a 3-degree descent towards the ILS, and in case we go missed, to climb straight ahead to flight level 060, contact the approach. We have the lost comms procedure there as well. There is a displaced threshold for runway 20, so you need to remember that. Okay, don't land on the threshold. It is not not legal to do that, and we definitely comply with the minimum RBR right there. I'm not going to do a circle to land, so that seems good. Once we land, I want to vacate on Hotel 3. It's a high-speed taxiway, and as we're going to vacate from Hotel 3, I'm going to taxi straight away towards Lima 1, Lima 2, Zulu 1, to any of these parking positions into Terminal 2, because this is where usually Ryanair goes, and that's where we go. So flaps 30, the ref right now is stated as 148. Might get down by a knot, probably, so I'm expecting a VAP of 152. We'll use auto brake. Actually, I'll use auto brake 3 because we're actually going quite fast. And diversion fuel is 2.5. Diversion airport is Faro, so it's an airport on the south of Portugal. It's like a 20 minutes flight, so very, very close. And the weather in Faro right now is 26021. So it's yeah, forecast is about the same. Fun. That'll be it. No special considerations. We're not overweight. No significant stuff. So all seems good for now. That's the arrival brief complete. Very good. That's very good. Alright, we turn towards the final. I did get a dink there. So far seems good. Airplane still shaking a little bit from side to side. Definitely due to that quite significant jet stream. 94 knots here on you. Alright. Martin, whoa, so they do Norton's... wait, so I read that. In the A70 engine IFR training requirements, do you have to learn how to arc a VOR NDB? Well, we do a VOR arc. You cannot arc an NDB, Walney, yes, if it's gonna be solely based on an NDB, but if you have a DME station, you can do it. So yeah, that's kind of it. And Martin, you can, if you have a Garmin GPS, and adjust the NDB itself as a waypoint. Well, that's true as well. It's not exactly a procedure, but yes, it is possible. I mean, it is possible to the point that with the Garmin GPS stuff, you can fly a non-precision approach with vertical guidance, which is basically impossible otherwise. So you can fly an NDB approach like an ILS if you have like something like a Garmin with proper avionics installation. But yes, we do that. We do that on the VOR. We don't arc the NDB, but on my airport there is an NDB, and we fly NDB departures and NDB arrivals as well as NDB. Sorry, not NDB arrivals. What the hell? NDB approach only. There is no arrival. There's only a departure for arrival. So essentially you have like a departure based on an altitude, and you fly a certain track, intercepts certain QDM, QDRs, like radials, and that'll be it. Okay, so just for my self-consciously fine, want to be a deck at flight level 07 or Upulu at flight level 250 or below. We are at 33, so 33 minus 25, that'll be 8. 8 times 3 is going to be 24. So 24. So yeah, that kind of fits in with the descent. I'm going to trust the VNAV on this one then. Seems pretty fine to me. Alright, do we have a descent PA? Yeah, we have.
Hello again from the flight deck. We are just commencing our descent. Looks like we'll be landing ahead of schedule, and the weather conditions are looking good at our destination. We'll be touching down in less than 30 minutes, so do make your way back to your seats. Thanks for choosing to fly with us today, and it's been a pleasure having you on board.
Except the weather is... I mean, yeah, it's not too bad. 7 knots is not bad. It's definitely not bad. Let's reset MCP altitude. I'm gonna put 7. 14 first. 14. Wally, will you do an NDB approach on the stream one day? Absolutely. I don't mind it. And there's a cool stream Vlad did in citation from Tajikistan airport. All NDB departure. I'll find it for you. Super cool video. Thank you so much, Martin. Yeah, that was cool. And by the way, I noticed later that I missed, because that's not a double NDB departure. That's a triple NDB departure. So I missed setting the other NDB. So that made the approach, it was just so slightly different from what it should be, but absolutely fine. Considering, oh, look, traffic. Yeah, this guy's definitely, I just crossed, okay, he's going the same direction as I am. So we're fine. I wonder, will we get into his, oops, not this one, we will get into his wake turbulence. Look at it. We will be crossing it very close. So perhaps, let's check it out, if it actually does it or not. This is what I love about X-Plane. Is it gonna rock or not? Nah, we passed just above it. Right, and there's the descent. There's the 737 calling you retard. For those who joke about the Airbus calling you retard, there is the 737 calling you retard as well. Oh crap, I missed the descent checklist. Let's do it very quickly. So descent, pressurization, landing altitude is set 350, NTI is not required, approach brief and fuel discussed, IS and altitude bugs are all checked and set. So descent checklist is complete. That was pretty cool. Alright, retard being up. And you know what, let me set actually 250 so I can start by actually looking where are we going first. And then I'll be fine.
Once again, may we remind you that mobile phones must remain switched off until the aircraft has arrived at the terminal building and the fasten seatbelt sign is switched off. Finally, please take a moment to remind yourself of your nearest exit.
Well, you know the guy who made the scenery? Oh, I know as well. He's a great guy. He made some really nice sceneries. We're getting above the profile, which is really funny, because we have a headwind and we're going on idle, and we're still above the profile. We're catching up right now. But this is funny. Yeah, full NDB departure using 2 NDBs, great skills shown during that procedure. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a triple NDB. I noticed it later. There we go, we are on the VNAV path now. Martin, wouldn't mind another vid similar to Karak somewhere in deep Siberia, perhaps? No covered. That's the thing. We have the perfect sceneries for it, and I've just about got the perfect plane for it. I just need the time to learn a little bit more of the plane. It's not very complicated, luckily. That's checked. But, yeah, like, I need some time. So, please give me some time. So, Upula, we should be going below 280, at 280 knots. So I have no clue what this guy doing. But the VNAV, oh, there you go, that's decreasing. Why are you adding power, dude? Are you dumb? Plane is fighting for the descent and he's just adding power. What are you doing, man? And now he's not descending. How funny. Alright, screw this. This is what I don't like VNAV. MCP speed, 280 knots. Sounds good to me. I want 7,000. And we're going to continue the descent. Access data, yes, I absolutely agree. There we go, much better. Much better. .118 knots. Holy cow, we're having less wind at flight level 330 than here. Whoa. Impressive. Alright, so we crossed to Pulu. That's good. I'm descending a little bit extra, so I can then make a shallower descent to slow down the speed. Martin, can you tell us what aircraft you'll use for the Siberia flight, or is it confidential info? No, it's not confidential. I think I brought it up, in fact, on Discord. It's going to be the Yak 40. I've learned the basics of the airplane. Yes, it's incredible. I'm going to use this this word. It is almost as incredible as the 134 and the 154. Which are planes that, when you try to learn them, can absolutely break your mind. It is also quite incredible because it has, well, oh yeah, there's the N24. So the Tupolev 134, what does it has? It has switches all over the cockpit, so it's very, very hard to manage. What do you want to keep switched on and off? And then you can very easily overvolt it, and it will shut down. So there is that. The 154, what does it have? I don't remember. It's slightly better, but the autopilot is complicated as hell. And there was something very stupid as well about it. I don't remember now, but there was something about it as well. It was like, what? Why did they do that? Oh yeah, of course, I'm not even talking about navigation stuff. So there is that. Then there is the N24, which has a throttle lever for the APU to control APU RPM. Let that sink in. But behold, there is the Yak 40, which has an APU that overheats. I cannot laugh. I cannot. It sounds so ridiculous, but the APU is time limited. So if you run it, there is a retard MCP speed, and we'll go level change to 50 knots for now. So we slow down before Exana at max 250 knots, so that sounds good to me. So yeah, there is that. So when you start the APU, you have a limited time to start the engines, otherwise they will overheat and shut down. Incredible. Incredible. I thought, when I was learning the plane, I didn't went straight into the manuals and so on. I just went for the thing and was like, okay, I want to try to start it up from scratch. I managed to start the APU from a couple of videos, and then I noticed the APU RPM going up, sorry, the EGT, like the temperature of the APU going up, and I was like, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? What should I be switching off? And no matter what I was switching off, it would still be going up, and then it just shut down. We had to restart it over again, and then we had less time because it was already hot. Yeah, it's actually operation limited. So you turn on the APU and you start the engines, because at the end of the engine start cycle, it is already almost overheating, so you have to shut it down. It is absolutely incredible. I don't know, why would they do that? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Right, let's decel to 230. Let's put vertical speed, minus 800, MCP speed, vertical speed. So, yeah, there is that. There is that, but it's a cool plane. It flies really nice, hand flies really nice. I have to find a couple of manuals for it to calculate properly the V speeds, the trim settings, because that will be properly useful. Let's do level change, retard MCP speed. And it's very simple in terms of navigation. The autopilot is super basic, so you have altitude hold, and is it roll? I think it's roll control. So it's either, or wait, do you have pitch? I don't even think you have pitch. I think you have altitude hold and roll. That's it. That's your autopilot. So you have to fly whatever heading you have to control all that stuff. That's pretty cool. Right, we are 230 on flight level change. And we're leveling off just before Decky. That sounds good. From Decky we'll proceed straight in for the UPCAT. And we have tower at Lisbon. Good. Information Oscar, expect ILS approach reduced to 0, transition level 5-5. Medium and light aircraft expect position uniform for departure. Takeoff available distance 2,412 meters. If unable, advise before pushback. After landing, vacate via Hotel 1 or Hotel 3. Wind 240 degrees, 7 knots, visibility 10 kilometers. Clouds, fuel 1000, temperature 10, dew point 8. QNH 1005, knowledge information Oscar. So today we've got Oscar on board. Very good. And I may also clear this. I can leave this. In fact, I could probably switch to this. Still 148, so let it be 148. That sounds good to me. Okay. So I'll let it go still on level change, because I believe we will be reaching flight level 70 by UPCAT, which would be perfect. Correction, by Decky, so that would be perfect for us. So yeah, Walney. Yeah, it's going to be the Yak 40. I'm looking very forward to that. Did we just get some ice on the windshield? Because this definitely looks like ice. No, that's definitely ice. Very interesting. But I didn't notice us crossing any clouds. So we'll see. Alright. We go vertical speed. MCP speed, vertical speed. About minus 300, minus 200, 1200 to level off. Because if we had just a tiny bit of power, we will still be burning less fuel than if we would be doing an idle descent and then leveling off by the waypoints. So I prefer to do it this way. Yeah. Wally, Yak 40 has a really complicated autopilot. Oh, I think you are joking, right? And Martin, APU RPM, go around booster. Absolutely. Martin, mix, pitch, APU, power. Yeah. Walney, one knob and 2 switches. Yeah, there you go. So you just confirmed that I said it right. So it's just altitude hold and roll. That's it. That's your autopilot. And Martin, that's so good. I gotta download the Yak 40 now. Do it. Do it. APU is just max RPM, frying everything. Yeah, that seems about right. That seems about it. That seems exactly about it. Alright, let's do UPCAT to here. That would be brilliant. Execute. We don't have approach. We have tower 118, 105, which is funnily already selected. Beautiful. 10,000 feet. Lights are on for the fixed, and logo and wing lights on. Might be already switching over to now wait a little bit. It has been decreasing, that's why. That's why we went just so slightly below. But yeah. I mean, it's good. Why do we have a hold at Bookcat? Can I delete the hold? Because I don't want to have the hold. There we go. Right, weather. Weather looks good. All seems good here. Speeds look good. Basically vertical speed on the VNAV profile. Look at us. Look at us do it. German flight simmer. That Tushka have a nice modern cockpit, I feel. Was there any update? German flight simmer, great to see you here. How are you? Absolutely. The funny thing is, this cockpit is, I mean, some Tupolevs were built at the same time as 737s were, and they are a world apart. Alright, let's go for 4,000. 4,000 seems good. Heading sync. Looking great. I just want to pass at 7, exactly at Decky, so I can nail the altitudes. Yeah, we definitely got some ice here. Just out of precaution, let me switch on this for a second. I want to see if the angle of attack does change or not. Probably not. Huh? Actually did. Just a tiny bit. Very tiny bit. Yeah. No, that's not changing. Alright, look at that. Decky 0.7. We're passing 7. Fantastic. So let's just reduce the rate of descent a tiny bit more. And I can remove this. I thought maybe we got some airframe icing. Maybe. But apparently not. So that's good. Flight Simmer, I'm fine. Thanks. How are you? I'm doing well. A lot of stuff. A lot of work. In fact, I started the stream, now I'm feeling better, but when I started the stream, my mind was still a little bit off track. Let's call it this way. And in fact, it was so off track that I picked up the wrong runway. We took off with, what, 17 knots tailwind? Which is not exactly legal, but I think it would be worse for us to do a reject takeoff at that point. So, yeah. Martin, where can I download the Yak 40? So the Yak 40 is distributed by Russian social media group, very similar to Facebook. I actually have the account for that, and very recently, if you are on our Discord, I posted the link from that group just to the download, so you can just get the download and nothing else. So you don't have to go into the group, you don't have to create the account, blah 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 blah, so you can do that. Alright, we're looking pretty good. We're 10 miles to go. What's the temp now? +7. +7. It's probably clear sky, let me guess. Actually not. Okay. I'll take it then. And let's start to slow down. Could have waited a tiny bit more, probably. Let's switch to tower. And I'm going to say we are gate 203. Stand 203. So yeah, I think it's on company discussion. Yes, should be there. Alright, there is the transition
1,000 to go.
altitude. Correction position level. QNH is standard set, and 005 set here as well. Oh no, we're slightly lower. No, there goes my CDA. Should have been.
Air taxi 904 Bravo Foxtrot, wind 240 degrees 7 knots, runway 20, clear for takeoff, first lane for boa noite.
For a second I thought that was
Clear for
Lisbon.
takeoff,
It's not Lisbon, it's Alberta.
taxi cargo 904
Let's go
Bravo
flaps one.
Foxtrot, ciao, boa noite.
+8. Yeah, it's oh my god, 30 knots headwind. Literally headwind. That's why we're taking so long. Walden on any engineering department. Just replied to that message. Check the engineering department once again. Thank you so much, Walden. Alright, there is the glide path. Let's go for... I'll wait a little bit for flaps. Just do flaps 2 for now. Altitude acquired, and let's do local. No, that's Harmony Bridge. Lisbon Tower, mid-1 night. Ryanair 1769 is on course for the ILS 20 to Information Oscar.
Ryanair 1769 Air Lisbon with bonnet report established on the ILS, Information Oscar QNH 1005.
Full report established on the ILS 20 and QNH 1005 Ryanair 1769. Go, turn, Varlock. Let's go flaps 5. There's light slope. Alright, still 8 degrees. I'm gonna go engine NTIs off for now. Lisbon Tower, Ryanair 1769, established on the ILS 20.
Ryanair 1769, air wind 240 degrees 7 knots, runway 20, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 20, Ryanair 1769.
Hello, Lisbon Tower, Air Portugal 1065, we are established ILS, runway 20. Air Portugal 1065, go around.
Look at him, it's just behind me.
Current, Air Portugal 1065.
2500.
Portugal 66, are we ready for push? Air Portugal 66,
So airfield elevation
approach facing north.
is
Approve
350.
facing north, and for your info, we are able for uniform 5. Roger.
So I'm waiting for 2,500 to start properly decelerating. Missed approach altitude 6,000 set. Start switches will go to continuous. Let's go to 160. Let's go clear down. Let's go brake hard. Flaps 15. Lights on. It feels quite bright. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit better. And oh yeah, we got a change of speed, so 152 it is. 152 flaps 30. Landing checklist. Start switch is continuous. Recall is checked. Speed brake is armed. Landing gear down 3 green. Flaps 30 green light, and landing lights are on. Landing checklist is complete. Should I hand fly it a little bit? Let's go. Let's go for it. Autopilot off. Autothrottle off. Why not? Some practice. Keep the flight directors on though. 22 knots of wind. Jesus Christ. It's going to be exactly 7 on the ground. It's going to be fun. Now we are stabilized with more than 1,000 to go.
1,000.
Air Portugal 1065 suggested left or right turn heading north for intercept of the localizer.
Yeah, when does the cruising look 17 already?
Air Portugal 1065 Lisbon.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Air Portugal 1065, go ahead. Air
Synchro
Portugal
check.
1065 suggested left or right turn heading north to intercept the localizer.
Passing my flight school.
Right,
this theoretical
we'll,
building.
do it right.
Not very far from here.
Air Portugal 1065.
Wind speed is
Four.
like
Air Portugal 433, established 9 miles island.
300.
Air Portugal 433 Lisboa, muito boa noite, continue approach, runway 20, wind 240 degrees, 7 knots.
200.
Portugal 433.
Minimums.
continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Lisbon Tower, good night, Air Portugal 1687, stand 124.
break up.
Information Oscar, request certified clearance to Funchal.
Reverse is
Air
normal.
Portugal 1687, Lisboa, boa noite, clear to Funchal, hold bot 1 Sierra departures, Fox 0307, QNH 1005.
80 knots.
It's Funchal, hold bot 1 Sierra departure, QNH 1005, and squawk 0307, Air Portugal 1687. Air Portugal 1687, get back right, report heading. Welcome.
And this is Hotel 1, right? Yep.
Ryanair 1769, welcome to Lisbon, taxi via Uniform Lima, Mike, Zulu 3, stand 208.
Taxi via Uniform Lima Mike Zulu 3 stand 208 Ryanair 1769. Well, we're almost there. Speed break up, that's the Zarn, that's off, that's off, that's off, off, off. So Uniform is straight ahead, Lima, then Zulu 3, almost as we planned. That's disarmed, reset these, and set 4 units on the trim.
Replicol 66 Charlie ready.
Set. Do you have an after landing? Check
Replicol
this.
66 Charlie, taxi via Alpha and Uniform to Uniform, holding point, runway 20. Taxi holding point, runway 20, Alpha Uniform to Uniform 5, Replicol
Clear
66
left,
Charlie.
clear right.
Air Portugal 433, wind 230 degrees, 11 knots, runway 20, clear to land. Let's land runway 20, Portugal 433.
Alright, and this is why I need a first officer. Alright, IP is on, fantastic. April, I'm a big fan of planes. I believe we're all here huge fans of planes, so welcome on board. You'll feel at home here. All of us here, Walney, absolutely. T-Fox 737, great, thank you. Beauty, Martin, thank you so much. German Flight Simmer, you are the first person I see streaming who remembers to stop the chrono during rollout. I mostly forget it and stop at the stand most of the time. Thank you. I usually forget to start the chrono time though for the engine cooldown. So thanks, man. Wally, very good landing, Vlad. Thank you. Martin, I'm off team. Thanks for the stream, Vlad. Keen to see you on the next one. Cheers. Thanks so much for tuning in, Martin. Good luck there with your training. We're gonna get through it, and who knows? Perhaps we'll work for the same company in the future. Alright, clear on the right, clear on the left. I drove by that road.
Air Portugal
On the last
1065,
week.
we are established once again on the Class runway 20. Air Portugal 1065, continue approach, runway 20, wind 230 degrees, 11 knots. Continue approach, Air Portugal 1065.
Alright, stand 208. Stand 208, it's the second.
Go 433, vacate hub 1, correction, uniform 1. Air Portugal 433, bem-vindo a Lisboa, taxi via Golf, hold short of Alpha. Taxi Golf, hold short Alpha, Portugal 433.
There's 209, and there's 208. Taxi light off. There's the guy. Not too bad. German flight simmer. Do you know that the Zibo has an integrated checklist? It's lying on the MCP behind the middle screen divider, whatever this is called. You can see it if you hover the mouse above the heading. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. I just don't like the checklist that's there, so that's why I didn't use it. That was a bit too much. Whoa, that was heavy on the brakes. Alright, pocket brake is set, APU is on, switch the APU on, let's go, bleeds on, and we can shut off the engine.
1687, stand by, I'll call you back, brake at Portugal 433, continue right on Alpha, stand 122. Right Alpha, stand 122,
Bleeds
Portugal
off.
433, muito obrigado, boa noite.
Spot sign off,
Obrigado, igualmente.
wait for
Air Portugal 1065, wind 230 degrees, 11 knots, runway 20, clear to land. Clear to land, runway 20, Air Portugal 1065.
anti-collision off. Very nice. Shutdown checklist, fuel pumps. Oh well, yeah, wait, stand by. Let's do ground services, GPU, chocks. Get this guy, get this, and this. And probably this, and this. The GPU can stop the APU.
66 Charlie, traffic on short funnel is a company Embraer 190, confirming site.
Hi, Embraer 190.
We have traffic inside.
Right, shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps
Behind
off.
traffic on short
Well,
funnel
from this
by
one,
uniform
electrical
51
on,
up
fast
runway
signs
20
off, window
behind.
heat,
We had landed traffic line up, good runway 20
Gas
behind,
off.
Portugal 66 Charlie.
probe heat off, anti-ice off, electrical hydraulic pump
Portugal
off,
1687, push back and sniper approved,
voice
switching north.
recorder is on
Push
auto,
north, Portugal 1687.
stand by, auto, air conditioning impacts, auto, engine bleeds, on, APU bleed off, exterior lights are set as I need, start switches off, auto brake off, speed brake is on detent, start switches off, sorry, flap set no light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar off,
Ocean 32, muito boa noite,
transponder
visual
standby
approach
and
approved, wind
2000,
230
pocket
degrees,
door
11 knots.
is unlocked. CVR CV in
Approved
for
visual
out.
approach.
Actually no idea where that is. Can we, no wait, that's the door. I opened the door, right? I think I was opening the door. Anyway, we'll leave the secure checklist for later. That is all good. Can power off the fuel pump, the last fuel pump off. And it's all looking good. Thank you very much for flying Ryanair. Welcome to Lisbon Airport. Lisbon Tower, Ryanair 1769 at stand 208. Obrigado, uma boa noite.
Obrigado, igualmente, boa noite.
Alright guys, that's it. So we didn't really get any significant weather as I was expecting, but still, nonetheless, it was good that we talked about it. We talked about the fuel planning, and yeah, there was a lot to it. I actually enjoyed a lot this flight. It was very, very cool. And thank you very much for being here, for all the support, for your comments, for your questions, for your suggestions. I appreciate those very much, even when I am not able to do them all because I don't have all the free time. So yeah, I hope we will be seeing you soon. I doubt it will be on the weekend, I'll be honest with you, but perhaps Monday or Tuesday again next week. We should be back for more. I will try to learn the Yak 40 so we can actually get to fly the Siberian routes with the incredible scenery that Walney did. So I'm looking very forward to that. I hope I have the time to try that out a little bit. Again, thank you very much. German flight simulator, remember to start the chrono for cooldown, forget about the chrono for the flight. Yeah, on the 7.3, as it's all basically in the same position, it's easier. Thanks for the stream. I need to leave now. Have a nice evening. Have a great evening as well. Weather's going crazy in UK and Ireland. It's going pretty crazy here as well, by the way. So yeah, that's it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Have a great rest of the week. And yeah, bye-bye.